Hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Enbar and this is my channel, Embodied Awareness Practice, where I practice awareness through the body. So we'll practice some stuff together. Today I just want to talk about the second layer of engaging in a practice such as this, where you want to bring awareness to your body. And there is a video that I will link above and also in the description, a video where I describe the first stage, the first being a very important initial layer, sort of an initial cognitive understanding, but also the kind of tool to use to be able to start bringing awareness to the body, and that's resourcing. So I talked about it, and I'll link this video, but at the point where you've started to or even like at the first moment that you let yourself sit down for a meditation practice or for this embodied awareness practice, where you just decide that it's time to like try this, and you've established resources, so you're like, okay, I'm here, feet are on the ground, I'm feeling my pelvis, I'm feeling the contact that I'm making with this sofa that's really holding me and my experience, I'm feeling safe. And then something happens, something changes, and something drops into the experience. And that can be hard to experience. That can be something we want to avoid feeling, because there's a certain like drop. And I talk about it in the resource video, where you don't want to drop into this ocean of void, of nothingness. So you drop into this feeling of contact and touch, and so you drop into your body, but you still bring awareness to the contact. And there will be videos where we experience that. I'll share guided meditations about that. But that part, when we drop in and we're allowing ourselves this experience, then kicks in expression. And I've learned the hard way that expression is blocked in our experience, and mostly for everyone actually. We've learned to block an expression. So we've learned as young children, or depending on the age, we've learned as young children to kind of block an expression. So don't cry, don't be too loud, don't like take over, don't need so much. So we block in expression, and that is a reaction that our body actually learns to do, because you can't stop yourself from crying mentally. Oh, okay, you told me to stop crying, I'll stop crying. You have to do something internally. Your physicality has to engage to stop yourself from crying. It's so common. It's everyone stops themselves from crying. When I'm saying this, you probably know how that feels. So for all of us, expression has been tempered with, and the body, we've learned to take on a posture that prevents us from expression. Crying, for example, is a tight throat, but there's more, tightness in the shoulders, stiffness in the hands, closing of the chest, contraction in the solar plexus, or pain in the belly, numbness in the thighs, numbness in the pelvis, numbness in the sex, very tight muscle contractions in the legs, etc. So this is, in some ways, it's something we've developed, we've learned how to do to like stop ourselves from being very big, is to contract. And through my practice and experiencing with this kind of idea of expression and how it's been kind of blocked in me, I started to tap into this kind of channel of expression. There's the mouth here, and there's like the opening at the bottom of our torso. For female, the opening is bigger than the male, but we all have an opening. And that channel of kind of energy channel, and some practices talk about that, such as Tantra, etc. But there's a channel of expression, and for me, it's sort of this idea of being able to express out, such as voice, or if it's not voice, tears, or like something that expresses out, but then can also kind of express down. And there's this kind of way that it cycles either down and up or up and down. It just depends, and we play with that with the embodied awareness practice. Expression is kind of what needs to be said, and in my experience, once I started to kind of tap into my body more, a lot of like anger, frustration, resentment wanted to come up and wanted to be seen and to be shared. I remember going to yoga classes in London when there was so much frustration, so much contraction in my experience, and so much that needed to be expressed and had no one to do it with. And the classes are huge, there's so many people there, you can't really like start crying. But I did, and I stopped going. But having done more intimate practices with one-on-one practices, and maybe just even start to really listen to myself, what is happening to me, allowing the tears to come, allowing the sobbing to come through, allowing the anger to come through. There's ways that you can do that in safety. So expression. It's allowed, it's good, it's expansive. And it's expected as a layer before you can go to stillness. So if you are one of those people who really want to meditate and quiet the mind and find stillness, but struggle, try expression. In my experience, once you go through the layers of expressions, all the stuff that wasn't allowed to be seen and to come out, that will then lead towards stillness. It might even happen in the same sitting. So you establish your resources, you give yourself the permission to express whatever's present, and that is the practice. And then you find the stillness, and whether you sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you can expand on that. That's the practice. But yes, the layer of expression, and how it is that the body learned to hold that in. We find many very creative ways to hold it in. And the more we sit with and look into, and it's very interesting practice to start to kind of put the awareness, the attention into various different parts of ourselves and what wants to be seen through those contractions, through those kind of what feels limiting. Once we free that, we give it an expression, we allow it to kind of speak to us and through us, other things come forward, and it can be a real like life-changing experience. So it's very exciting. Yes, that's what I have about expression at the moment. There's more in-depth conversation to be had about it, and what I'm proposing is that slowly, as you start doing a practice, whatever it is to just let yourself first resource and then allow yourself to express just a little bit of what is coming up in the moment. That's an embodied awareness practice. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Again, if there's anything that you'd like me to elaborate on, that you want to kind of share, please do that in the comments below. I will be sharing more videos like this, also some practices, and I look forward to seeing you in all different channels that I'm working on. Up there in the banner, there are some links to Facebook, Instagram, and a link tree where you can actually get in touch and follow me in different other platforms and mediums, and you can also get in touch to privately practice with me. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next video. Take care.